Two fishermen on a fishing mission from the west coast of Ireland to the east coast of England. Welcome to the Greater Rod Race. Well, you join us here in the midst of a dilemma. We're actually travelling across Ireland and England from the west to the east in a journey that's probably going to be around about 800 miles. And currently we're stuck in Ireland. Now, the problem is that we've got to catch a pound of fish for every mile we want to travel. And we literally haven't caught enough from our last session to make a big jump from over here on Loch Corrib near Galway to over here on Loch Derg. Now, the area in between these two lochs is pretty well barren of fish. At the moment, we're around about 17 pounds short. It's 45 miles from where we are now across to Loch Derg, which means we need 45 pounds of fish in our keep net. We've currently got 28. So we think we can save a little bit of time by going to Woodford here, where there's a carp and tench lake. That's 43 miles, so we're only 15 miles short. So what we're going to do is this. Today we're going to fish on Loch Corrib near to Galway. A friend of mine's got a boat down at Oughterard. He's agreed to bring the boat down, take us out on the loch, and the idea is somehow by hook or by crook we've got to catch 15 pounds of fish. Now, to help us along our way, we're basically going to divide our efforts, and Sir Michael has got a little bit of a master plan. I'm going to be fishing fly fishing techniques with wet and dry flies. And you, Sir Michael?
Well, I'm going to be using a traditional Irish way of catching these big brown trout on Corrib called dapping, and it actually involves using a real live mayfly. And it has been said, Matt, it often produces the bigger fish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really yeah.
Traditional Irish method, the more modern fly fishing method. One thing's for sure, we need 15 more pounds by hook or by crook. We've got to catch those trout.
You probably think I'm crazy.
This is absolutely nuts. Such a horrible day, actually.
We're fishing for miles, so we've got to catch something.
We've been literally blown off the water.
Oh, me too on at last.
We need quite a few of these to build up a good weight.
A few more miles.
Really hard straight to the bottom.
We are, mate.
Now that one's a roach bream hybrid.
Right, let's see what we've got. 20 pounds and 3 ounces.
Basically, we're stuck.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. We're out on the lake now. Jim Glynn, my friend from Oughterard, has come all the way down the lake to Galway to pick us up so we don't burn any more miles. And he's brought us back up the lake again because the weather conditions at the bottom end are pretty foul. But it's perfect up here for the mayfly. We've got a nice big rolling wave, sunshine and cloud, which is perfect for mayfly hatches. Mick's going to fish on the dap with a fly on the surface, and I'm stripping flies just below the surface through this rolling wave. Altogether, a perfect day for fishing the mayfly. Let's just hope it works. Yeah, we're just seeing a few mayflies start to emerge, the green drakes. Fish rising round us now. And this rolling wave is absolutely perfect for mayfly fishing. But I've got an octopus on, I've got a mayfly on the top. Success, Mick.
Yep.
Not a big trout, but there he is. How big's that, Mick? About half a pound?
Yeah, a bit more than that probably.
Our first fish of the day. He's not a big fish. He's under the size limit, so we've got to put him back. We can't eat him. Oh, he's right wiry. Well, there it is. Beautiful little trout. Probably about 10 ounces, but it's the first fish of the day, and we're off the mark. Oh, God.
Oh.
Well, Sir Michael's just missed his first one on the mayfly,
I must admit I did strike.
and he disobeyed the golden rule, which is not to strike straight away.
Seen a very small fish as well.
This man can take the head off a gudgeon at 90 yards. Well, what we're doing now is collecting live mayflies for Mick to fish with, and May and June is a time of plenty here on Loch Corrib when the mayfly hatches in large numbers. Now, the mayfly is actually the world's most important fishing fly. It's a large insect. Trout love to eat it. It's quite an interesting life cycle. The insect, of course, begins life as an egg, but the first couple of years of its life are actually spent living on the lake bed, crawling around on the bottom, and it's known then as a nymph. It then swims up towards the surface and it begins to shed its pupal shuck, starts to expose its newly formed wings and emerges an adult insect. And these are called green drakes. And then under the shade of these nearby trees, the mayflies will dance together and start their mating ritual. When they've actually done that, the females will go to the water, they'll lay their eggs maybe on the stems of some plants or reeds, and the mayflies will die, falling on the water with their wings out in a crucifix position, which is called spent. Let's just have a look at a mayfly now. You've got a good collection, haven't you, Mick, in this box?
I must have 50 or 60, and it's only taken us about 10 minutes to get them. Right.
There they all are.
Let's have a quick look how many I've got in there.
Let's just have a look at one in close-up, Mick. It's a very, very important insect, this. Here it is. You can see that the mayfly has got these large, very distinctive wings, and then these very distinctive tail whisks here, which are actually quite important when you tie a fly to imitate the mayfly. As you can see, that is a big, juicy meal for a hungry trout, and it doesn't need to get too many of these down it before it's full up. But everyone counts. So with a box full of mayflies at our disposal and a good hatch underway, I think it's time to get back on the water for you to fish the Dap, Mick, and see if we can get into some of these big trout. I better get in first then, Jim, eh? You want me at the back?
What's your rod, mate? I'm coming aboard.
Well then.
Take it away, Maestro.
It was beautiful there, given the shelter of the land and the trees. The sun was shining, but as we emerge onto the loch, we can see that conditions are not only difficult, they're also quite dangerous.
Well, this is the baited hook. It's so very, very basic. I'm just using an 8-pound fluorocarbon hookling, size 12 hook, and I've just impaled 2 of those live mayflies onto it. And I'm going to try and keep the rod high in the air and just try and dap the mayfly on the surface, no line at all on the surface, and get a really natural presentation. It's very hard to get this right for very long. It's really hard to concentrate. Yeah, he's taking it, Jim. He's taking it. Well, I've actually caught my first fish. That was incredible, that was. That was one of the best fishing experiences I've had.
Well, that's useful, Mick.
Yeah.
That size.
Well, this is going to get us a mile and a half, I think. Yes, hey, we've got it.
Hey.
Great, thank you, thank you. There it is, absolutely wonderful. Look at those spots. Well, I'm absolutely delighted to catch this fabulous Corrib trout on a new method for me anyway, dapping with live mayfly. Wonderful experience. There's quite an art to actually dapping, but there's even more of an art to actually getting the mayfly onto the hook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, that was a great
Matt's in. Wow, Matt's in.
That was a really nice take, that one, Mick. Straight towards me here. I don't know whether he's come off. Oh, he has.
Into another one, Jim. I was falling asleep and all of a sudden the trout came up and hung itself. Yes. Right, that's a keeper, isn't it? Well, Matt, I've got another one.
I know, I can see it, Mick.
It's only a small one, but it's another half a mile, I think. Oh, yes! Woo! See that go? Yes. We're starting to get on our way. Don't forget to add that to the total. Into another one, Jim. That one really wanted it and he's took it right down. We'll travel another mile tomorrow.
Right off, it's gone. After all the bad weather we've had, we couldn't have wished for a better day on Loch Corrib. It's such a big volume of water. It's 32 miles long and 10 miles wide, and can you imagine being out on it in the weather we had the other day? Although it's a difficult target to achieve, this £15 business, we've got half a chance, I think.
Well, it's only a little one, but will you give me £half for that one?
I will, yeah.
It's well undersized, so we'll slip it straight back, OK.
It's not a big one.
So that's not going to get us very far, is it?
Not far enough. Nice job.
No, we're in with a chance of doing this, I think.
Oh, there's a fish, Mick. Well, I'm in at last, Sir Em.
And about time.
Yes. Well, I was a bit gutted when I lost that big one earlier on, so at least I can make some form of contribution. Oh, look at him go. I've been plugging away with these wet flies for ages and ages with absolutely nothing. There's been nothing rising, and then right out of the blue, you just keep fishing and one comes up. Just hope it doesn't come off, because we need this.
Well, don't forget, every pound is a mile, so...
It's certainly hanging on.
Oh, it's not a bad fish.
No, it's a nice fish. I'm quite pleased, actually.
Well done, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Well, that's definitely going to add close on 2 miles to the trip, I think.
That's a beaut.
That's a lovely fish.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, which fly did it take?
Well, it's taken, I think... I'm glad it's not Jim's yellow octopus. Oh, there you go, folks. What a beautiful way to end the day. The Connemara Mountains in the background, a golden sunset, and a golden trout to go with it. How big are you going to give me for that one, Mick?
I'm definitely going to give you £2 for that, mate.
This is going to break Jim's heart.
Yeah.
But I've had so much fun with this fish, I'm going to put him back. Go, baby, go. Come back as a 6-pounder. Well, the good news is that we've achieved our targets. We came out in pretty awful weather. The waves were breaking over the front of the boat, and for a while it looked like we might not be able to fish. The fishing when we did get into the bay was absolutely appalling. But as the wind eased, the sun came out, the fish came on the feed. Mick's had 2 or 3 nice fish on the DAP. I've had a few fish on the wet fly. They've really come on, and basically we've achieved our target of getting £45 in the keep net, which is great news. We're on the way to Woodford. We've done it.